Hey, it's Joe. Good afternoon. 0 to 1, My Journey in Notes, episode, I think, 8. So we're doing pretty good. We're making some progress. We're learning a lot about how to look at a note. We've been talking about performing. Performings are fairly simple, right? We look at payment history. We look at how long the current buyer has been paying on the house, what kind of equity they have in the house. And we look for consistencies in payments and skin in the game, right? Equity in the house. Because that tells us that the borrower is not going to just pick up and leave. If they're over their heads and they're paying, there could be an opportunity for them to go, listen, we're done, right? And then you're sitting there holding the bag. So with the performing side, it's important really to look at the asset and look at the person who's paying and what they've done consistently over the last, I would say 24 months, right? We want to see at least a good pay history, 22 of those 24 payments, and a history of performance. That's performing notes. The non-performing side is much different, much different. And there's a lot of different factors there. And when you're looking at non-performing notes, you're looking at the asset, you're looking at the general area. If I end up getting this asset, which if it's non-performing, that's how you have to assume. You're assuming that you're going to get this asset. And so you'd want to look at things like the BPO, what you're going to be able to do, your exit strategies going forward. The exit strategies, first and foremost, is always to get that thing reperforming, right? Can we work with that borrower? Can we assist that borrower into refinancing the house and basically getting him or her into a payment that is appropriate for them? Can we give them a tiny bit of a forbearance to allow them to get some time to get back up on their feet? Those kinds of things. Then we at Wise Choice Capital approach the sellers for you as an investor. So if you're somebody who's interested in non-performing notes, maybe you're interested in performing, that's where we would want to start an investor, right? We would want to start you with a performing note and show you a proof of concept, right? But if you're interested in getting to non-performing, maybe hitting those home runs, then just know that when it comes down to actually dealing with the tenant, or not the tenant, with the borrower in this situation, that would be Wise Choice Capital that does that, right? We're essentially going to be your property manager for that spot. If you have a rental property, you're going to want to use a property manager to relieve the headache of having to deal with tenants, toilets, and termites. In this scenario, if you're looking at non-performers, you're going to have a third-party servicer who will service the payments like they would with a performing note, and probably us, Wise Choice Capital, to pursue those payments and to go get them. Now, if they don't want to pay, they're done. They're not interested in going forward. They're maybe got some scenarios in which they've lost their job, or lots of different things can happen when it comes to people and their lives, right? Well, what we'll do in that scenario is, if we cannot get it reperforming, or if maybe we've started it reperforming and they've just fallen back in their old habits, then we're going to offer cash for keys. And cash for keys, we approach them and we give them 2 months worth of rent for their local area. 1 month now, and then a month when they move out, so they can go find themselves a new place to live, and they can, be out of the home. And basically, here's, for example, here's $1,200, right? Go get yourself a new place. Here's the keys, and get the heck out of the house. And they do, and in that sense, then we can now we're owning the home, free and clear. And we can put in another person to sell or finance the house. We can rehab it and put a tenant in and sell that. We can rehab it, put a tenant in, and hold on to it. It really just kind of depends from that point what you want to do as the at that point landlord, right? The other things we could do is, if cash for keys is not, they're just not willing to work with us and not willing to do anything, as a lender, we have recourse for the property, which is also why I'm in love with notes right now. Is we have recourse. It's backed by real estate, right? That's a very secure investment. Cash flowing monthly, that's secured by investment, by a real estate property. So the last thing we would do is go through foreclosure. Now, foreclosure is going to vary state by state, so you're going to want to know what that is, and that brings in all of those costs, right, and all of those things. So when you're buying a non-performing note, the point being that you're going to have to look at all of the things that will pop up with a non-performing note. Things like taxes, any delinquent taxes. Things like how much legal is going to cost you. And also how much, each individual, what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to talk about, the condition of the house, right? So sometimes a hoarder could just live there and leave all this stuff. And I had originally started a business as a property preservationist, which would mean I would go in and a team would clear out the house, right, for somebody. I discovered that that wasn't my bag, and I got into the notes business instead. But I would need a team to go out there and clean it up. And so you need those kinds of factors. And those are some of the most variable things that can happen, right? I mean, what kind of condition is the house on the inside? And so when we're doing that, when we're getting a BPO, we're only going to want to think about the BPO maybe 60% of what that is. So $40,000 house, BPO, the agent thinks it could sell for $40,000. We're in some rural area. We would go, okay, we could probably sell that thing for $24,000, right? And then that way, when we do end up having the house and things start to happen, we could fire sell it to somebody, investor in that local area who would be willing to purchase the house. So we want to make sure you're not biting off more than you can chew, not getting yourself into a large project that is unnecessary, and stay consistent. Stay consistent. So hope everybody's doing well. It was a tough day for me today. If we're talking mindset, my mindset has been off. It's been off for a while now. I don't know if it's COVID or what the heck, man. I'm just kind of over it all. But staying healthy, still working out, getting that part of my thing going, and trying to continue to stay with these videos and learning the note business so I can grow my side hustle, my wise choice capital, and become a note investor. So I hope everybody's doing good. Check it out.